Welcome back to Caelesti. Today, in update 0.14.1, I just wanted to showcase a number of features that were actually involved in update 0.14, and also a number of new features that are mostly from community recommendations. Now, the first feature that was actually in update 0.14 or beta 14 is this. It's the varied rain sounds. It's a heavily thought out new rain system, which involves a huge number of varied rain sound effects. You have bass rain sounds, which are varied in pitch and length and strength, and then you have like occasional sounds of like large droplets hitting the floor. And as you might be able to hear there, you also have like distant thunder sounds as well, which are quite nice. This feature is taken directly from Skr. I actually created this quite a while ago for Skr. I believe it was on like 3.5 or something like that of Skr before it died. Yeah, I really like it. I have no issue with using things like this in Caelesti because, again, there isn't really like any sort of, you know, is it Japper or not? Because it's a sound, it's not a texture, you know, so it's fine. But yeah, I just wanted to showcase the fact that this is now kind of, you know, back in my pack as opposed to just lost in Skr as well. Only a few changes that have been made to the rain sound effect is I've actually now made a more complex situation for the rain when it's like under a roof. So there are two ways that the rain sound is played in Minecraft, one of which is when you're out in the open like this. I'm going to actually move around now. One of which is when you're out in the open like this, and one of which when you're under enough cover. So if we get under cover, that will change, just like that. Now, the main crucial change that I've done to this is that if you are undercover, like I am right now, you will actually not hear the distant thunder sounds, and I kind of like that. It's very, very small detail, but it kind of just adds to it in my opinion, because if you're indoors and it's raining, I guess maybe the walls that, you know, obviously there's no walls around me right now, and that's a good showcase of how this doesn't work, but the walls that would be around you would be limiting how much sound can actually get through, and therefore you probably wouldn't hear the really light thunder in the background. So I kind of like this. I think it's good. I think it's really, really good. Anyway, yeah, so if you want to get the new rain sound effects, feel free to go download version 0.14.1. It's available on the same page as 0.14 on the same CurseForge site. And yeah, we're going to get on to some other things that have changed in this version of the pack as well. So welcome back to the test world. One of the sound changes that I've made is actually credited to Zoe, so thank you very much for the suggestion. This was kind of a feature that was already in Skr once again, so it was really easy to set up because it was just a simple case of copying over some files, renaming the sound file paths in the sounds.json directory, and then it works, so it's fine. This one's actually to do with the hurt sound effect for when you fall a big distance. So if I do game mode, survival, and we're going to do TP up 20 blocks, that sound. I didn't have resistance, did I? Oh, I do have resistance. What? I shouldn't take damage, though. Strange. I don't know. Anyway, this sound effect. When you fall, like, enough distance for it to play the fall damage sound effect, there's, like, two categories of the fall damage sound effect. You have the kind of weak fall damage sound effect. I'll try and get up somewhere high enough to do it. But fall damage, like that's like the small fall damage sound effect. But when you fall like 8 or 9 blocks or more, you get the large fall damage sound effect. And by using that kind of specific scenario where a player falls a long way, I added the ability to have various sounds play in that occasion. And I'll actually just do it manually instead. So we've got play sound. I believe it's Minecraft, entity, player, big fall. Yeah, there it is, big fall. Play on master volume and at my location to me, and there it is. So we've got different sounds for the big fall damage sound. Now the reason why I think this is quite interesting is because they're all different versions of the same sound effect, but just from varied versions of Minecraft. And the way that I've made it is that the older the version of Minecraft is, the more rare the sound effect is. So you're more likely to hear the more recent ones, but occasionally you will hear some kind of out of place old school sound effects, which in my opinion still work. So we've got like I think that's like the regular one. That's obviously like an old one. That's a really old one. And got like the proper crunch. There There's the old one again. That's a lot more rare than it should be on there. I think it only plays about 1 in every 30 times, really. But there you go. So we have varied sound effects for the fall damage sounds, which is kind of interesting. I don't know. It's just one of those things again. It's kind of like the door from last episode. It's just occasionally you'll take a big fall and you hear the ooh, and it's just like, oh my god, Steve. Steve is still a pleb. Nice. Now for the next part of the video, we need to actually take a trip to the end dimension because I have actually changed some of the sounds for the Enderman. Some of you were commenting on the last video that I was wrong to not keep in the weird, cool sound effects of the Enderman from MC Dungeons, but I'm really having a lot of trouble trying to get them to fit in because there really is a big issue of trying to make them sound like they belong. I don't know how to really describe it, but basically the sounds from Minecraft Dungeons, the kind of really echoey sound effects, are actually from a very specific story part of Minecraft Dungeons, and they don't actually have a full collection of sounds that sound like that. In reality, all the Enderman sounds are still the same as vanilla, with a few additional ones for a specific event. So what I've done is I've taken those additional sounds and sort of like tied them together with the teleport sound effect, and that is now what happens whenever an Enderman teleports. Only problem is I'm trying to figure out if that teleport sound is used anywhere else, because I think it's only used by the Enderman, but I have a feeling that maybe it's used somewhere else. So if it is, we'll have to think back about how this is going to work. But yeah, none of them are actually teleporting, are they? Maybe I need to do a thing. Let me see. I'm going to make a little cage for myself, and then we'll hide under it. Poor man's Enderman farm. Look at this. I haven't done this in ages. It's crazy. Boop. Okay. Now, game mode, survival. So, I kind of want to hear them teleporting. There we go. I'm not hearing teleport sounds, guys. Shut up. It's not happening, is it? It's not happening. What's the best way of doing this? Maybe I could just play the sounds, because that's the more easy way of doing it. You have to just take my word for it. You will very rarely hear these sounds. For some reason, the Enderman teleport sound is not played at the location at which he teleports. It's played at the kind of like target location that he teleports to. So it's actually really, really uncommon that you'll ever actually hear the Enderman teleport sound. Like if this Enderman teleports away from me, it won't make any sound. Let me just demonstrate. I can prove it with maths. Trust me. So if I get a bow and fire my bow at the sky, no sound. Absolutely no sound is played because they're not supposed to. But you heard it there. Yeah, because he teleported a tiny distance, so you heard it. But yeah, no. So basically, every time an Enderman teleports somewhere nearby you, you will hear this sound effect, which is a shame because I kind of wish that you'd be able to hear it if you were at the location that he teleported from, but that just doesn't happen, which is a shame. So thanks, Mojang. Good game design, as always. So once again, we'll use play sound. So play sound, Minecraft. What would this one be? Entity.enderman.teleport. There it is. Master Excalibur at my location. Wait, what? There it is. There it is. So there is a random variant, basically. Every time you would have previously had the teleport sound is the same as the vanilla teleport sound, but with the kind of like creepy, echoey Enderman sound from Minecraft Dungeons afterwards. And the reason why I got this idea was because it turns out the sound in Minecraft Dungeons for what we thought was the kind of ambient voice sound is actually specifically for while the Enderman is teleporting. So it makes sense for the teleport sound effect for vanilla as well. So there it is. I'm going to get away from the Enderman because it's confusing. You can kind of hear the Enderman and the cool Minecraft Dungeons sound. So once again, I think it sounds really cool because it gives the idea that he's just come out of the teleported area. He's now like making a sound because he's just arrived, like what happens when you spawn in any animal. It makes an idle sound. But because he's just been teleporting, it's kind of like messed up and wavy and, echoey. I think it's really cool. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. It's a little short update for, for 0.14. It's pretty basic, really. I just kind of wanted to put out a few additional sounds that have been requested by you guys. And of course, obviously showcase the rain sound effects that I forgot to mention in the previous video as well. But yeah, so anyway, Caelesti already has about 25 downloads on CurseForge. Thanks, guys. It's cool to see you guys are interested, even though it's not even finished yet. I can't think how anyone would actually be using this pack yet because it's so, like, unfinished. It's lacking so much still. But yeah, thank you for downloading it. Thank you for taking an interest. In future videos, we are going to have slightly more interesting content. In the next update, actually, version 0.15 or beta 15. I need to decide which one of those I like, don't I? In update beta 15, we're going to have a huge look over all of the different textures that Japper put forward for Minecraft in the 3 different preview version packs he made. So I've already got them downloaded onto my Minecraft launcher. Actually, let's have a look. Yeah, so we've got Japper v1, Japper v2, Japper v3. I'm gonna just modify the pack files so that they're made for the current version of Minecraft, and then basically go into a debug world, look over all the textures, and just pick out what I want to use, or maybe use as like a random variant texture as well. So there's a lot of cool things that we could be doing here. But yeah, that video will be coming out in the next week or so probably. I'm not sure whether I want to do like a Scowl reacts to old Japper textures now, or or just go straight into the showcase video. I have no idea. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Maybe you'll like these new sounds. Again, give me any feedback or any comments on the new stuff added in this video if you want to, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. That sky is so ugly. Bye-bye.